So last night's Doctor Who episode was Smile, and I recorded it and watched it this morning. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this show right now. So you have the little robots that reminded me of the handbots from The Girl Who Waited. You have the Vashta, I guess they're also like the nanobots from The Empty
nanobots.
Child.
Yeah.
The Doctor Dances.
Yep.
And then it was a mix too on Earth 2.
Yeah.
So there was some Earth 2 in that as well. And when I look at episodes that I think back on fondly from Doctor Who, they're not usually ones that I can pick off a bunch of episodes they've kind of ripped off. And, Doctor Who can definitely rip itself off. That's, one of those wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey things, as he would say. But, now next week, it's London in the past, and there's something under the ice, and all I'm thinking is the snowmen. And I don't know, I guess for me, maybe I've been watching it too long now. Maybe, I don't know. I look and immediately I'm like, okay, so it's this episode. Like, it's just, and Bill, she's okay. She's sort of there again. She asks a lot of questions. She asks a ton of questions. And I get that the companion is the one that we're supposed to see the show through the eyes of. But at the same time, she asks too many questions. In my eyes. She just asks so many bloody questions that it distracts you from the show that she's asking so much. And they're obvious questions half the time, too. There was some stuff that I liked in it and I didn't like in it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody if you haven't seen it. It's your standard Doctor Who in that, would I recommend somebody to watch it? Yeah, it's Doctor Who. Will I watch it again? I don't know. I loved Season 9. I absolutely loved Season 9. So what series, or Season 10, Series 10 if you're in Britain, Season 10 if you're in the States and Canada, what Season 10's given us so far is a weird spaceship that travels through space and time just by willpower and follows Bill because it's romantically involved with her or whatever. And then this week we had the clash of the Vashta nanobots and the handbots. And I haven't seen anything, I mean, there was a Dalek instance last week where the Daleks were just kind of an afterthought. And the Daleks are supposed to be terrifying. And they weren't. They're just sort of there, and they're horrible shots. And I don't know. It just, to me, it feels like the first couple episodes have been the show going through the motions. And now it would appear that they're opening up a storyline for the rest of the year, which I'm not a fan of, because I've seen it done in Quantum Leap. And I think they're doing the Quantum Leap storyline, which would be fine, but I don't want it here. Like, the Quantum Leap storyline, I don't want it here. I don't want it in Doctor Who. But we'll see how that turns out for it. Again, I'm going to keep giving it a shot. I'd give the episode, I guess, a 7 out of 10. And, I'm doing my best to give the show as many chances as possible. But it's not my favorite show anymore, I don't think. I don't know. I'll have to wait till Orphan Black comes back to figure this out. But I'm starting to think that Orphan Black has moved its way into #1 spot over Doctor Who. Because, again, good episodes, they're okay. But remember, at this point in Series 9, we've had Davros facing off with the Doctor in this major battle. And Missy's in the middle of it, and the Doctor thinks he's dying. And there's all these storylines going on. And there's all the planes that are in the sky that are frozen. And in Series 8, you have the regeneration of the Doctor, and there's brand new, there's the Paternoster gang were in it. You have the dinosaur in downtown London. and lots of fun stuff. And then you have Into the Dalek is there as well, which has Rusty, which was my favorite Dalek ever. I haven't seen Rusty again. And Into the Dalek was a great episode. So I feel like this series is just kind of going slow. And since there's only 12 episodes in it, and we know that at the end of this cycle, Peter Capaldi's done, that Capaldi's Doctor's finished at the end of this cycle, to me it feels like we should be doing more with it. Like, when Matt Smith's character was done, they had the Day of the Doctor, they had all of the stuff going on with him being brought home, and oh, you know, he has to go to Trenzalore. There was a lot of foreshadowing with Trenzalore, and a lot of what could happen, might happen, and he's supposed to die there. And it just feels like this season is just sort of rolling. And it's just sort of... And Series 7 had that to some extent. The first half of Series 7, of course, you have Rory and Amy still hanging around, even though nobody wants to watch them anymore. And then they die off. The Impossible role comes in, and things pick up, depending on who you ask. But even in Series 7, you have the amazing Dalek Asylum episode at the start. The second episode, the dinosaurs on a spaceship, I'm not a fan of that one. I don't know who was smoking what for that episode, but it had better have been good. Because that was just weird and didn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it for more than a second and a half. But, you know, the Dalek Asylum was great. And they set up the storyline where the Daleks forget the Doctor. They forget who he is. And they say Doctor Who, which is amazing. And they introduce Clara as Oswin, and they introduce that whole idea that she's reincarnated. And that's interesting. Without saying it in the first episode, she doesn't show up again until the Snowman, the Christmas special. So, there was groundwork there. This just sort of feels like it's... And it doesn't help that BBC has quashed this series with announcements of Doctor leaving and them not renewing the companion. That doesn't help. And then there is this storyline going on with the Vault, which I can't spoil because we don't hear anything more about it. And I got a funny feeling that whatever's going on with the Vault's probably going to be what causes the regeneration. But I'm not 100% interested in what's going on with the Vault. To me, it feels kind of like Ghostbusters. And like all the ghosts are going to get released at some point. I just don't... I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. I'm sorry I'm a day late doing this review, but I've been watching a lot of hockey today and figuring out things to do with hockey. So I haven't had the time to devote to this video, but I'm here now. And you guys can let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.